Everybody, are we on? Mike, are we on? Yes, we are. This is on. Move down to the front. There's lots of spaces up here in the front. Lots of room. I can do it, but I don't know, that did not work for you. No. It's about the sun this time of year. This Sunday, the sun is in our faces. Yes. Okay. Welcome. Good morning and welcome. I really can see you out there. Hi, everybody. You're there. You're there. I kept thinking there was a spotlight on, but it isn't. It is a spotlight in a sense. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church on this Wabanaki land we now call Brunswick, Maine. My name is Cuffy Catherine Chase, and I'm a member of the Board of Trustees. Phew. Today is November 26th, 2023, and the reflection today is entitled The Relational Roots of Generosity, and will be led by the Reverend Dr. Karma Amos. And we are pleased this morning to welcome Sam Chandler, the music director from the First Universalist Church of Yarmouth, as our guest musician. Thank you for coming. In the interest of safety, please note there are 3 exits to this building. One is directly behind you, the door you came in. One is to your right, past the AV booth, and the other one is in the back, past the RE rooms. Just alert yourselves to those things. We have a few announcements, not too many. The first one is from Sharon Brown about the Santa Project.
I see what you mean by the sun. Good morning, I'm Sharon Brown, and I will be in the back of the church near the fair table with a Santa hat on by the Santa Project. The Santa Project is our way of playing Santa to those less fortunate than we are by donating $5 or $10 Hannaford gift cards or the money to buy the gift cards. We will give this to the gathering place at probably the first of next month so that they can help, this will help their clients have a little bit merrier Christmas. And I thank you all for giving and for bringing those cards.
And next we have Lisa Durrell with probably the last announcement about the holiday fair.
Probably, except next week with a big sign about it. I'll bet you all know what's coming this week. If you don't, do drop by. Look around, take a peek. The Christmas elves, that's you, will be very busy setting up a grand fair. There'll be quite a tizzy. There's need for more hands. Sign up, don't delay, to set up before or sell on the day. During this week, at the sign-labeled stations, you can leave your white elephants, your tools and creations. Please check this week's program for the days, times, and more when someone will be here to open the door. The lawn signs are up, the red posters too. The print promos are out. There are quite a few. Please invite all your neighbors, your friends, and your cousins to come for some joy or buy gifts by the dozens. I've mentioned since April, that we'd need all of you to create a fair on December 2. Well, forth you have come with gusto galore, giving your time, your ideas, and much more. So a big thanks to you all. And we'll see all of you at the holiday fair on December 2.
Almost done. Okay, a reminder that the fire drill has been rescheduled for next Sunday, December 3rd, right after the holiday fair. And this is also a reminder of the congregational meeting to be held next Sunday at 11:30 after the fire drill. So come back after the fire drill. In the following, I have to read this warrant agenda for that meeting. Okay. The Unitarian Universalist Church of Brunswick hereby notifies all current members to attend a special congregational meeting to be held in person and online via Zoom conference on the 3rd of December, 2023, to consider and act on the following motion. The Board of Trustees, in consultation with the Safety Committee, moves that we accept a $19,262 grant from FEMA to improve the safety of our church. And last, and finally, for those who are here in person, take a moment to silence your mobile devices, or else you'll be embarrassed later. Again, welcome. Glad you're here with us today.
Members of the Pastoral Care Associates are going to read our chalice lighting by Richard Gilbert. It is inspired by a quotation from Dag Hammarskjöld, who said, Each morning, we must hold out the chalice of our being to receive, to carry, and to give back.
Each morning, we hold out our chalice of being to be filled with the graces of life that abound, air to breathe, food to eat, companions to love, beauty to behold, art to cherish, causes to serve.
They come in ritual procession, these gifts of life. Whether we deserve them, we cannot know or say, for they are poured out for us. Our task is to hold steady the chalice of our being.
We carry the chalice with us as we go, either meandering aimlessly or with destination in our eye.
We share its abundance if we have any sense, reminding others as we remind ourselves of the contents of the chalice we don't deserve. Water from living streams fills it, if only we hold it out faithfully.
We give back, if we can, something of ourselves. Some love, some beauty, some grace, some gift. We give back in gratitude, if we can, something like what is poured into our chalice of being, for those who abide with us and will follow. Each morning, we hold out the chalice of our being to receive, to carry, to give back.
Good morning. My name is Karma Amos, and I am honored to serve as the minister of this congregation and to welcome you to worship this morning. No matter who you are or whom you love, no matter your background, country, I feel like I should go to the principal's office or something. No matter who you are or whom you love, you are welcome here. No matter your background, your country, your language, your spiritual tradition of origin, you are welcome here. Here we gather together in community, in beautiful, unpredictable, sacred, and messy community, to try and make sense of life, to root ourselves again and again in our values so that we might live with meaning and purpose, and to nurture the relationships of mutuality that bring us joy and hold our lives in sacred balance. Today, as we continue reflecting on our monthly theme of generosity, we will focus on the side of that generosity equation that seems to get the least amount of popular attention. That is, the art of being a good receiver of the generosity of others. For some reason, well, for many reasons, I suspect, that part seems to be more difficult for many of us. We are often encouraged in congregational settings especially to reflect deeply about our gifts and what we may have that we can offer the world. That's really, really important. Spiritual communities are pretty good, in fact, at helping us learn what it means to incorporate generosity in our lives by giving of our time and our talents and our treasures. Have you heard those things in church before? Yeah, we love to talk about giving. And again, it's really important. I'm not sure we're as good at allowing others to meet our needs, at being gracious recipients when we need help. Do you know what I mean? Whew. Otherwise, it was going to be a really long time of me talking to myself today. Today, we are all afforded an opportunity to focus our reflections on this, on how our ability to gracefully receive the generosity of others is also vitally important. The intricately interdependent web of all existence holds us in this time of worship as in every other moment of our lives. Let us rest in this time that we may receive from the Spirit of life and one another some nurture for the living of these complicated and unpredictable days. We need one another, and it is good to be in one another's company. I want to invite you now to rise in body or spirit as you are able, as we sing our opening hymn, and the words will appear on the screen.
When I am frightened, will you reassure me? When I'm uncertain, will you hold my hand? Will you be strong for me? Sing to me quietly. Will you share some of your stories with me? If you will show me compassion, then I may learn to care as you do. Then I may learn to care. When I am angry, will you still embrace me? When I am thoughtless, will you understand? Will you believe in me? Stand by me willingly. Will you share some of your questions with me? If you will show me acceptance, then I may learn to give as you do. Then I may learn to give. When I am troubled, will you listen to me? When I am lonely, will you be my friend? Will you be there for me? Comfort me tenderly. Will you share some of your feelings with me? If you will show me commitment, then I may learn to love as you do. Then I may learn to love.
Good morning. My name is Tobin Cooney Calnan, and I serve as your Director of Religious Exploration. This morning, I am going to do a little meditation with you all, and I would love to invite some children forward to help me out. So if you are young or young at heart and you would like to help me out, or just not leave me up here by myself, that would be great. Hello. Good morning. How are you? Thanks for being here, even if you're tired. McKenny's, I didn't even see you. Good morning. Hello. So this is one of those weird ones where I don't have anything up there, so you can kind of look at me. I'm the show, yeah. Good morning. So today we are talking about being in relationship with one another. Do you know what it means to like be in a relationship or be in a relationship with other people? Izzy, I see you nodding, and you know I love to put you on the spot. Do you want to tell me what you think it means? Yeah. That was beautiful. It means that you're close to someone or you have a connection with them. Do you think it's always easy to stay close to someone or keep a connection with them? Jocelyn, you immediately went, no. Why not? It's not easy to always think the same way as somebody else. Any other reasons? People who have younger siblings, are they always really easy to be around? Is it always really easy to be in a relationship? Why not? Annoyance? Yeah. So you'll be wanting to do one thing like laying on the couch, and she'll be wanting to do something else like jump on you. So you walks on. That actually feels like it could be fun, but okay. No, yeah. So one thing about being in a relationship with other people, I think, is that it takes a lot of having to like be patient or having to like be open and not always having the same ideas or not always wanting to do what the other person wants to do. And if we are trying to stay close and stay in connection with people, we can't just be like, no, I hate it. No, not doing it. Bad, right? We have to like compromise and be open. And one of the ways that I think is easiest to do that is if we are practicing kind of a connection in general. So how many people have heard of a loving kindness meditation and we also heard of it as metta? Has anybody ever heard of this? You're all lying because we've done it in already, but it's fine. It's been a minute. So loving kindness, you're not really liars. I was just joking around. That was a joke. Okay. Loving kindness is a meditation where we share our love with the whole world. Where do you think that starts? If we are just going to like start sharing love, where do you think that starts? Yeah, right in our hearts. So the first thing that we have to do if we want to share our love with others is to start by connecting with ourselves. So can you put your two hands over your heart? Can you feel your heartbeat? That's because your heart's not in the middle of your chest. It's right over. It's on your left side. There you go. You guys feel that? So it's sort of a metaphor that we say love comes from our hearts. But our hearts, if we can feel the beat, it kind of connects us to our bodies. It kind of slows us down. So let's just take 3 nice deep breaths with our hands on our hearts. Thank you. So the metta meditation, it always starts with us. So in order to share our love, we have to start by receiving love. So what we do is we say to the universe or to the sky or to whatever we feel a connection to, we say, may I be happy. Can you repeat that after me? May I be happy. May I be at ease. Do you know what that means to be at ease? You see, Mira, you know? To be comfortable, yeah. And may I be loved. So may I be happy. May I be at ease. May I be loved. So when we start to feel that, then we can share it with other folks. So then the way the meditation works is we put our arms out and we extend it to the people around us. Ready? So may you be happy. May you be at ease. May you be loved. Look at that, you just shared so much love with all of these people. Do you think we could share it with the whole world? Okay, what I like... Might take a while. Yeah. That's a really good point. I'll tell you, every country we're going. What I like to do is for this one, I like to do like a visualization, and I'm pretty basic at visualizing, so I use emojis. So when I send out may I be happy, I send out happy faces just everywhere, smiley faces. And then may I be at ease, I send out like this kind of guy, you know, the Zen looking guy. And then, yeah. Or may I be at peace, so you could send out peace signs also for that. And then the other one is hearts, send out hearts for love. So are you ready? Do you have if you're gonna visualize, do you have your visualization in your head? All right, here we go. We're going to put our arms all the way out. So our hearts are wide open. All right, we're holding the whole world. May you be happy. May you be at ease. May you be loved. And now we're going to remember that we're part of it, so we're going to switch the words we, okay? May we be happy. May we be at ease. May we be loved. I feel that. Do you all feel that? So one of the things we're going to go do to practice our love for the world is we're going to go in the back and we're going to work on some projects that we're going to sell at our craft fair that we are having on December 10th. So I'm going to put you to work. We don't get to keep it. We're going to sell it, and then we're going to use that money to help another organization. We'll talk about it when we get back there. Thanks. Can you all join me in singing our children out with "We Will Keep a Place for You"?
Pastoral Care Associate? There I am. I know I have a quiet voice, but I thought that was really quiet. I'd like to share the joys and concerns today. There are no concerns written, but we all know that many of us hold lots of concerns in our hearts and our minds, and so we keep those in our hearts and minds as well. For joys, Mary Larson writes, and I think this sentiment will be echoed by many. I'm very happy that we have Will Bristol as our new music director. During his college years, Will accompanied our choir, so his face might be familiar to you. In case you want to learn more, please see the all-church email recently sent to us. Kathy Glennon writes, I'm very thankful that the Unitarian Universalist Church of Brunswick recently hosted the Transgender Day of Remembrance on behalf of all our trans brothers and sisters who have been lost to violence. And Betty Robinson shares, I had a wonderful trip to Nairobi to visit with my adopted daughter and family, and finally met her 3-year-old daughter who was born during COVID, as well as spending time with 2 other friends. If you are not attending in-person services and you have a joy or concern that you would like to have shared during a service, please contact us at our email address. It's up on the screens and in your weekly email. It's uucbjoysandconcerns@gmail.com. And if you are attending and have a joy or concern that you'd like to share in a more private way, please seek out one of us after the service. We have light blue ribbons on our name tags, and we'd be so happy to listen or help. And if you feel like maybe pastoral care is a calling for you, we're always looking for members, especially a few good men. Thank you.
Would you join me in a spirit of prayer and contemplation? Great Spirit, we give thanks for the gift of life, for the sun that brightens our days and the moon that watches over our nights, for the companionship of flora and fauna and family and friends, even as we may be reminded on this holiday weekend when they are complicated. We give thanks for arms that receive us when we feel like the ground has given way beneath our feet, for gentle touches that remind us we are never truly alone, for generous ears that listen to our stories even when we've told them 100 times before, for grief's reminders of how much we have been blessed to love, for food and water and shelter and air, for dreams of better days, for prayers, for peace, for hearts that hope, for ceasefires and hostages returned home, for second chances, for opportunities for redemption, for healing, for hope, for creativity, for this day, these moments, these precious people around us. May we never take for granted the gifts of life upon which we depend daily. In gratitude, in humility, in praise for life itself, let us say amen. I want to invite you to remain standing as we sing a prayer response, which Sam will lead us in.
And what I'll do is I'll sing it once through and play the melody, and then we'll all join in and we'll do it twice all together. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. So here it is. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and by this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and by this we live.
The reading today is called Small Kindnesses by Danusha Lamaris. I've been thinking about the way when you walk down a crowded aisle, people pull in their legs to let you by, or how strangers still say, "Bless you," when someone sneezes, a leftover from the bubonic plague. Don't die, we are saying. And sometimes when you spill lemons from your grocery bag, someone else will help you pick them up. Mostly, we don't want to harm each other. We want to be handed our cup of coffee hot, and to say thank you to the person handing it, to smile at them and say thank you, and for them to smile back. For the waitress to call us honey when she sets down the bowl of clam chowder, and for the driver in the red pickup truck to let us pass. We have so little of each other now, so far from tribe and fire, only these brief moments of exchange. What if they are the true dwelling of the holy, these fleeting temples we make together when we say, "Here, have my seat. Go ahead, you first. I like your hat."
May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others and let others do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars and climb on every rung. May you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever young. May you grow up to be righteous. May you grow up to be true. May you always know the truth and see the light surrounding you. May you always be courageous, stand upright and be strong. May you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever young. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds of changes shift. May your heart always be joyful. May your song always be sung. May you stay forever young. Forever young. Forever young. May you stay forever young.
Many years ago, I heard a story that has stuck with me. You may have heard it in one variation or another, and the story goes that there was this little kid walking through the woods with their parents. It was an energetic day for them. You might imagine the day after Thanksgiving or something like that. They were running circles around all the trees and pointing out the unique features of what seemed like every single leaf and flower. Have you been on this kind of stroll, this spirited stroll with a child? Yes. Well, after a while in the woods, they came to a clearing and they broke through and they saw the rocky coast. Clearly they were in Maine. As they explored the beach and watched the tide recede, the child said to the parents, "Hey, you see that big rock over there? I bet if I used all my strength, I could move that rock." Well, the parents looked at one another and shrugged. It's awfully big. Probably quite heavy. Are you sure? You've already done so much today. And the child said, "What, you don't think I can?" "Oh, no, they said. "You are a resourceful kid. If you use all of your strength and all of your wits, we're sure you can do it." So the child went off, ran over to the rock, tried to move it. It didn't budge. The parents watched with some delight as the child strategized, trying one thing and then another, until finally they plopped down, wrapped their entire body around the rock, stuck their tongue out just right, and grunted. This is magic we have all tried. Grunted. Nada. The child started to cry. The parents looked at one another, and one of them moved over, put their arm around the kid who just deflated with the admission, "I was wrong. I couldn't do it. I tried everything. I used everything I had, and it wasn't enough." And then the other parent stepped forward and said in response, "But wait a minute, honey. You didn't use all of your strength. You didn't ask us for help." And in the fairy tale ending of the story, they all three put their energy to the rock, which moves easy peasy. The moral of the story is clear. Sometimes we all need help, and asking for help is not a weakness, but rather the strategic deployment of a strength, a necessary strength. Now, if you have had a long weekend already and only have space for a short sermon today, please tuck that away and take a break while I talk for a few more minutes for the rest of you. I imagine that all of us know the truth to which this story points. We get it. Sometimes we are the ones who can help, and sometimes we are the ones who need help. Even if we're not accountants, we can tell that that makes mathematical sense even. You cannot have one without the other. You must have receivers in order to have givers in the first place. Giving and receiving are mutually and dynamically interdependent. Both are necessary for balance, for life. We know this, right? Nod with me if you know this. We are also taught, many of us, that it is better to give than to receive. Have you heard that one? It's biblical, at least its origins are. It's from the book of Acts in the Christian New Testament. And Paul uses this statement that it's more blessed or better to give than to receive as a part of his message to inspire generosity in the congregation at Ephesus. Paul was a fundraiser, among other things. And in what was essentially his call to offering, he uses this quotation that he attributes to Jesus. Maybe Jesus said something like this, I don't know. But regardless of its origins, I think it's fair to say that whoever said it is better to give than to receive was both on to something and absolutely full of hooey. Paul was nothing if not a successful marketer. He used the true part of this statement to great effect. He knew his audience. It can certainly feel better to give than to receive, can't it? Especially in an honor and shame system that valorizes wealth and shames poverty. In that kind of system, which was absolutely the system of empire in Paul's time, and it should be said, remains the system of empire in our time as well. But in that kind of system that honors wealth and shames poverty, of course you want to be on the wealthy side. In such a hierarchy, it feels better to be higher up, in a position to redistribute resources, to be comfortably charitable. It may indeed feel better to give than to receive, but it isn't. In fact, the spin of that marketing campaign has done many centuries of harm. It is not better to give than to receive. Both are necessary and good. We are human, and as humans, there are times when we have things we need. There are times when we can supply someone else's needs and times we must rely upon them. Usually, both of these things are true at the same time in different contexts. In one part of life, we have riches to spare, while in another aspect of our lives, we're barely hanging on. That's the actual economy of our lives, if we're honest. We have things to give, and we have needs that we are often afraid to even admit, which of course ensures that they remain unmet. I think this is a problem, particularly for those of us in the United States. For people around the world, we are an object lesson for a broken economy. A good one too, but a broken one. We are a study in contradictions, where opulent wealth and devastating poverty exist side by side on the same street if we will not avert our eyes. Children across the world are taught in school about capitalism, and as the situation here in the United States is described, many of them respond by saying, "What? How is that possible? That's not working." And they're not wrong. There's another aspect to our national character that further exacerbates this for us, and it's our fierce independence streak. You know what I mean, right? Because we're fine. We're fine. We're really fine. We love to celebrate our independence. We're proud of our resolve for good reason. We like to talk about our strength and our ability to do things in our own way, thank you very much, and usually better than anyone else. Unfortunately, one of the messages that we also convey with this attitude, this cultural attitude, whether we intend to or not, is that if you aren't able, if things aren't going your way, if you don't have enough, if you're having troubles, something must be wrong with you. This message is continually broadcast, although it has no basis in truth. In our culture that literally criminalizes poverty, it is no wonder that we try to hide our needs from one another. It's pretty standard these days to have normal human needs pathologized to such an extent that people are forced into hiding their needs, into shamelessness just to survive. We have been trained very well to pretend that we can be and do everything for ourselves. And when we can't, not if, but when we can't, when we find ourselves in a little need of help and support, we don't feel good about it, which only contributes to the separation we feel from one another and from the sources of our strength and support. Remember that story at the beginning? Shame about having regular human needs isolates us. It separates us from the natural relationships of mutuality and interdependence that are meant to anchor our lives. This pretending that we are always fine disables us. Not only the growing number of poor and disenfranchised people, but all of us. This is not a workable economy, financially or spiritually. Now, I know that's a bit heavy, so will you take a breath with me? If you notice that you're holding some tension in your body right now, send some love to that place. And I want to read you one of my favorite poems by Palestinian-American poet Naomi Shihab. It's called Shoulders. A man crosses the street in rain, stepping gently, looking 2 times north and 2 times south, because his son is asleep on his shoulder. No car must splash him. No car drive too near his shadow. The man carries the world's most sensitive cargo, but he's not marked. Nowhere does his jacket say, fragile, handle with care. His ear fills up with breathing. He hears the hum of a boy's dream deep inside him. We're not going to be able to live in this world if we're not willing to do what he's doing with one another. The road will only be wide. The rain will never stop falling. For me, this poem reminds me about the way it's supposed to be in an economy of mutual care for one another. Naomi says, we're not going to be able to live in this world if we aren't willing to do what he's doing with one another. And I'm going to get nerdy for a minute as I point out that it's not entirely clear which person in this poem is the antecedent for the pronoun he. We're not going to be able to live in this world if we're not willing to do what the man carrying the little boy is doing, holding him close, caretaking him, loving him into safety. That much is clear to us. But we're also not going to be able to live in this world if we're not willing to do what the little boy is doing, allowing ourselves to be held, to rest for a while, so that our lives aren't spent only in worry and exhaustion, to be carried when we are afraid or at our wits' end by those whose love for us is genuine and generous. Friends, we cannot always be the ones who are giving. Life's economy simply doesn't work that way, and it's not supposed to. We have both gifts and needs, each of us. There is a wholeness and a beauty to the mutual flow of give and take that we disrupt if we will only play the part of giver. Both giving and receiving are necessary life skills. Both are important spiritual practices. Not one of us is completely self-sufficient. And far from that being cause for embarrassment, that is an entry point for grace in our lives, if we will let it be. May we let it be. That in our receiving as in our giving, the generosity of life might flow through us strong and unobstructed. May it be so.
now is the time in our service when we receive your weekly offering. Each week we share our non-pledge money with a charity with Soul, and this month's charity with Soul is the Gathering Place. Please give generously. Please join me in the congregational response. May these offerings sustain and grow the work of this church, weaving a tapestry of love and action. And now, if you are willing and able, please stand and join in our closing hymn, 1021, Lean on Me.
You may be seated. I can tell you're feeling it. We are a people with varied and abundant gifts to give and to receive. We are people, all of us, with needs that can only be supplied by the grace of others and the universe. We give, we receive. Both actions are holy. Both actions are necessary for our wholeness. May we learn to be more courageous in admitting our needs, for they do not diminish us. They simply remind us we are human. May we be more open to receiving the gifts of others, for each time we do, we facilitate their generosity, and that blesses all of us. Let us go in peace, in connection, and in love. Amen.
Please greet each other with love and compassion.